It's been a few days since we've last spoken. Could you tell us what you experienced the day that he went missing?
Oh, he wasn't missing. He was right where he needed to be. As if he had been planning this for decades. It was Sunday morning when we felt the earthquake. It woke me up immediately. I left my room and stepped outside along with some of the other helpers. Thankfully, no one was hurt. I did notice 2 women running with bags full of perfume, but that was about it as far as the commotion went. It all reminded me of the things that took place over the last few days. I thought back on all the terrible things that happened to that man called Jesus. I couldn't stop thinking about what he could have done to deserve such a horrific death. From the conversations I've heard and according to rumors, it seems like he didn't do a thing. Even when he tore down the tents and cast out the animals and merchants in the temple, he was doing the right thing. The temple is the house of God. Jesus was protecting what was going on inside the temple, and kind of how I was protecting what was going on that night in the courtyard when he was arrested. Maybe I should have let Peter inside. At that moment, I began to wonder if Jesus' death could have been avoided, if I had failed as the doorkeeper. I began to feel like his death was my fault, and maybe it is. Shortly after, Roman soldiers rode up to the house. I went inside and met with Caiaphas, simply to make my services available should they need me. The soldiers entered, their skin pale as snow, like they had seen a ghost. They spoke about seeing men made of lightning and the stone blocking Jesus' grave being moved. His body has gone missing. Caiaphas was obviously shocked to hear about this. He asked how Jesus' body could have gone missing under their watch. The soldiers did admit to falling asleep, funny enough, but the most disturbing part of the story was when the soldiers rode to deliver the news of the tomb, they rode past 2 women on the road, speaking to a man who looked very much like Jesus before he died. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The rest of the day was nothing but excited rumors and worried Pharisees. The entire morning I was playing out in my head all that I knew. Jesus entering Jerusalem, his capture, the injustice of his so-called trial, his awful death on the cross, and now everyone talking about Jesus coming back from the dead. Call me ignorant if that's what I am, but didn't the Bible speak of someone like this? The plan was that he gives himself as an offering for sin so that he'd see life coming from it. Life, and more life. And God's plan will deeply prosper through him. I don't know about you, but that sounded like the resurrection to me. Enough to the point that I abandoned all my duties and left, running as fast as I could to the burial place of Jesus. If this man, this rider, this captive, this savior was truly the Messiah, I couldn't fail him. I knew I had to be the doorkeeper. I reached the entrance of the tomb. By now the sun was up and the shadows within the grave were too dark for me to see. So I entered, and when my eyes adjusted, that's when I saw. That's when I believed. The Messiah is alive.